Hello guys, Robert1 here coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, along with Charmander in the background as always, I have for you something I have not done in such a long time, and that is a Pendulum deck profile. Now, I have not touched Pendulums in a long time, even though how much I actually do love the mechanic, and there are a lot of reasons behind why I haven't really been touching them for a long time. I haven't made a video on them for a very long time. One being that, well, you kind of have to go first with the deck, and another one being that to really play the game right now, you have to be playing decks that can utilize a lot of hand traps and also do a lot of different things in the deck in general. So I haven't really been playing the deck a lot, but recently I've just had that itch to just play Pendulums, have fun with the deck, and just go back to some of my old roots where I play like Pendulums, Heroes. I've even been testing Ritual Beast again if you guys are ever interested in that, and I thought, hey, seeing as all of this stuff is here, seeing as Pendulums is one of my favorite decks, and seeing as I haven't done any content on Pendulums in such a long time, why not do a Pendulum deck profile, show you guys what I've kind of been working on with Pendulums, and just give you an idea of what Pendulums are currently at today, because even though we know Triff Gaming, the Pen God himself, is out there playing Pendulums constantly, I thought I'll show you guys what I'm currently doing them, because I got a couple of interesting things in the deck myself, in my personal opinion. So, guys, let's actually get into the deck profile, show you what it is, show you my thoughts and opinions on it, and just show you some of my techs in the deck. So let's actually get into it to do my Endymion Pendulum deck profile. So starting off, we obviously play 3 of the card that literally has the most text in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! You play 3 of him. He's a mandatory 3 of in the Endymion build because he goes ahead and removes 6 counters from anything, special summons himself from the Pendulum Zone, destroys a ton of cards, is a spell and trap negate, goes ahead and searches you spell cards, normal spell cards if it's destroyed while it has a counter on it, and also just goes ahead and it says it cannot be targeted and cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has a card on it. The card is literally the boss monster of Endymion for a reason, and it's got the most text in the game, so do I really have to go too deep outside of saying, oh yeah, it's a spell and trap negate, but it also has a lot of other stuff. And guys, like, you have to run him at 3. He's a mandatory 3 of. He's a scale 8 as well, so he just gives you all your high scales, and he's level 7, so he lets you make the absolute dragons go into your vortex. So mandatory 3 of, you have to be playing 3 of him in your Pendulum deck if you're playing the Endymion build. If you're maybe not playing it and you're just playing a hybrid of all the different ones though, you can easily cut them to 2, but in this build you definitely play 3. Next we play 2 Reflection of Endymion. This card is actually pretty cool as well. You use it for its Pendulum effect and actually its special summon effect, which is while it has 3 spell counters on it, you can remove 3 spell counters, special summon itself and the monster that you can place spell counters on it from your hand, and then when it's special summon, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and 1 card that you have a spell counter on, return the card you control to the hand with a spell counter, and also return your opponent's card to the hand as well. So it's actually pretty good. It's just basically a 3 compulse, for instance, on any card on the board, and it's also another level 7 that lets us go ahead and make absolutes go ahead, well, makes the absolutes, which lets us go into the vortex to just have another negate. So card is very strong and is actually very good, and I like it at 2. I know some people play 3, but I just like the card at 2. I don't feel like you need to be playing more than 2 as well. It's just a really good 2 of, and I love it at 2, so we play 2 of that. And then 1 Servant. This card we would play 3 of if we could play 3 of, but this card is absolutely insane. This card essentially does, you can remove 3 spell counters from it, special summon itself from the Pendulum Zone, and special summon a monster you can play spell counters on it from the deck to essentially just say, hey, I'm going to summon a Jackal King and this from the deck, from the Pendulum Zone, so I can have 2 counters to have the monster negate to play around your hand traps like Nibiru and stuff. So yeah, card is very, very good. Wish it was up 3, but Konami, you know, they just don't like me having 3 ofs in my Pendulum deck. So yeah, only 1 of her. That's the only Endymion monsters we run. We don't really need to run any of the others, like the Magus and stuff, because like they're not really necessary. Like these are all the ones that you really need to run because they're just the best ones. Like you've got the Spell and Trap Negate. There's also a ton of pops and can search things. You've got the Compulse, which is really, really nice to summon stuff from the hand. And then you've got Servant that summons from the deck, which is honestly the best one. So yeah, those are the only Endymion monsters we run. For other Pendulum cards, we play 3 Magical Abductor. This card is very good. You can remove 3 spell counters from it while it's in the Pendulum Zone to go ahead and add any Pendulum card from your deck, and you can also remove 3 spell counters on it while it's in the Monster Zone to add any one at level 1 spellcaster from your deck to your hand. So this card is just very, very good. It can get you to like Magician's Souls. It can be like a 4 card scale technically. If you're using spell cards that draw you cards, then it's normally a 1 card scale because of the amount of cards you use to actually do it. But Card is very strong. In the Endymion build, you have to play 3 of this card, and it's just very good. That allows you to combo off very easily and allows you to get to a lot of your plays. And a lot of the time, if you open this card, you're not even placing it in the Pendulum Zone, you've got to normal summon it to go ahead and be able to search like a Magician's Souls or something, which is just really, really good. We also play 2 Jackal King because he is the monster negate in the deck. We don't play like Cerberus and stuff because you don't really need the Cerberus. You only really need the Jackal King because the Jackal King just allows you to get the monster negate, and the Cerberus, you can't really utilize it while you control like any other Pendulum's monsters in the other Pendulum scales. So I felt like you don't need them, and Jackal King is just good on its own, so we played 2 of him. We also play 3 Chronograph and 1 Time Gazer because these are basically just free summons. Like, free summons in a Pendulum deck are always really good, and if you can do a ton of stuff before your Pendulum summon, then you're 9 times out of 10 going to win that game because you set up a board before you Pendulum summon, you then Pendulum summon and make more cards on the board, which is really, really good. But those are the only Pendulum monsters we're playing. Like, I know it's not a big amount, but in the Endymion deck, you don't really want to be running a high number of Pendulum cards. You want to be running more spell cards to get more spell counters and make the deck more consistent to be able to go into your combo plays. So yeah, those are the Pendulum monsters. Going on to other monsters though, we do run 3 Magician's Souls. This card is absolutely insane. It gets rid of our dead spell cards in hand. It's a free special summon, and it's just easy to get because we can search it off the Magical Abductor, as I said earlier, because the card is just very, very strong. So this card is very, very good, and it's very good, and you kind of need it for a lot of the combos in the deck, because if you're going to do the combo where you don't actually Pendulum summon on turn 1, this kind of card can be very, very important. So you want to be playing this card in the deck, definitely, just because it can give you so much advantage when it resolves. And then the last monster we're actually playing is 1 Spellbook of Prophecy, because we are playing the Spellbook engine, and it's just a free draw and a free search, and gives us 2 free spell counters if we normal summon it. So the card is very, very good. Going into spell cards though, we play 3 Spell Power Mastery. This card is basically Rota for Endymions, but it also has the additional effect that says if it's activated, you can add an additional spell counter on cards up to the number of spell power masteries on your field or in your graveyard. So essentially this card is a 2 spell counter card, which is very, very good in this deck, because if you open like any Endymion or Abductor or something, then you can just go ahead and put 2 spell counters on something instantly, and that means you only need to activate 1 more spell card, or even activate the Endymion in your spell and trap card in your Pendulum Zone, so then you can just go ahead and get that additional 3rd spell counter. So this card is absolutely insane and is a mandatory free of in the deck. We also play 3 Pot of Desires. You don't really care about banishing a lot of your stuff. Like, you play a lot of Freos for a reason, and if you do use this, you're going to be using it most of the time after you've already gotten a lot of your one-offs out of the deck, or you've gotten a lot of your combo pieces out of the deck so you can actually play the game. And just having those additional 2 draws a lot of the time can actually save you a lot of the time. So playing this card at free is very good, and if you do draw an extra one, then you're just going to discard it off the Magician's Souls. So that's really, really strong. 3 Allure of Darkness, because it says draw 2, and also we can just get rid of it from the hand very easily with Magician's Souls, or it's a card that allows us to get more spell counters, and if we do have no darks in hand, we can still activate it just to get the spell counter to go into more plays. So the card is very, very good as well. We also play, for just other spellbook cards, we play the 1 Spellbook Secrets and 1 Knowledge. Pretty much you only need to play 1 of each, because we play this engine for the Spellbook Prophecy Crowley, because Crowley is just a card that says you can reveal 3 spellbook cards from your deck and add 1 of them to your hand at random. So card is very, very good in that respect, and just Spellbook engine is decent in the deck and gives us multiple spell counters, which is nice. We also play for other random spell cards though that aren't just, you know, draw cards and stuff. We also play 3 Ready Fusion with 1 Instant Fusion. I'm playing this because I actually really, really like this in the deck. I like Ready Fusion and I like Instant Fusion for 2 reasons. 1, they both give us an additional spellcaster on the board, which gives us an additional link play to go into like Crowley or something along those lines. And 2, they are spell card monsters that say, oh, we go ahead and activate the Ready Fusion. That gives us spell counters on all of our Endymions or all of our spell counter needing stuff to give us more potential plays. And I really, really do like that in Endymion Pendulum, because it just means, oh, additional spell counter, additional monster, more plays, more advantage, and just go further into the game, which I really, really do like. So I'm playing this because of that, and honestly, it's just really strong. Like, I've been in the testing I've been doing, I have not had a hand that was bad with these cards in it, unless I drew like 2. But even then, if I draw like 2 Ready Fusion or like 1/1, it's fine. If I draw 1/1, it's fine because that's 2 spellcaster monsters. But if I draw like 2 Ready Fusion, I just discard 1 with the Magician's Souls anyway, so it's fine. We also play 3 Magician's Restage with a Magician's Right Hand. This is actually a really, really good engine in the deck for the fact that this is just a monster reborn when it's activated, so you could go ahead and summon back your Magician's Souls, or you could go ahead and summon back your Spellbook of Prophecy, Blue Boy over here. You can special summon back him, and then you can just go ahead and, if you summoned Magician's Souls, then you can go ahead and send this to the graveyard to go ahead and then search your Magician's Right Hand, which is just another spell and trap, well, just another spell negate. So pretty much the whole thing is, oh, you activate this, you summon Souls back, you go ahead and send this to the graveyard, draw a card, and then you just get the Magician's Right Hand, which is really, really good when you think about it, because it not only gives us an additional spell card, but it gives us an additional summon. And seeing as it's just like this is a hard once per turn effect, so it's like, oh, well, it's not a hard once per turn effect, sorry, it's a hard once per card effect. So if you go ahead and activate it, you can't activate it again. But if you have multiple in your hand, you get multiple summons. So like, it's only for the one face-up copy of the card, you can do it multiple times in a turn, but it's just like the card's really strong. But if you're planning on using it, you do want to send it to the graveyard, because you can't really get more advantage out of it after you've used it. So yeah, but yeah, really strong engine, just monster reborn and a free spell negate, really, really nice. And then the last 2 cards in the deck is 1 Into the Void and then 1 Upstart Goblin, just to go ahead and give us more spell counters and more draw power. It's just a very, very good cards, and honestly I prefer to play off free Upstart if we had free Upstart, but Into the Void is just a good second one, because it's just like, we don't need our hand. After the first turn we made our board, we kind of just go into the win from there. Going to the extra deck though, we play 1 Artemis, because, well, the whole logic behind Artemis is if you open like your Spellbook of Knowledge with, like, I don't know, a Time Gazer in hand, you can literally just go normal the Time Gazer, special the Artemis, and then use the Spellbook of Knowledge to send the Artemis to the graveyard, to then just go ahead and draw 2 cards. That's like the whole reasoning behind it, because it's essentially just a free draw 2, and if you can't really do anything else with your opening hand, then Artemis is just a draw 2 card. Like, that's pretty much it. There's also other weird plays where you can just go ahead and, like, I don't know, normal the Blue Boy can get ashed, and if you have like the Magician's Restage in hand, then you can just go ahead and summon the Artemis, summon the Blue Boy back, and then just go ahead and go into other plays. Blue Boy isn't the best example, I'm going to be honest. The best example would probably be Magician's Souls, because if you have the Magician's Souls, you can just go ahead and special it. If this gets ashed on its discard effect, or if you can't do anything else, or you only have the 1 monster to summon, you can go ahead and summon the Souls, so send it to the graveyard, make the Artemis, summon it back, and then go ahead and make the Crowley, which is the best play, because the Crowley just goes ahead and gives you a free Spellbook engine, which is just really, really nice. But that's pretty much the reason we play the armies, because it's got different combos, it's got different lines, which is really good. So we play 1 Artemis, we play 1 Cross Sheet because of combo that allows us to go into our Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. We go ahead and normally summon this, and also if we open a hand that's really bad, we can go ahead and use the the Ready Fusion or the Instant Fusion with the Cross Sheet to go ahead and just get a free summon as well. So that's also pretty decent. 1 IP Masquerena, I really rarely make it, but it's just there so we can go ahead and Nightmare Unicorn if we want to. 1 Crowley for the Spellbook engine. 2 Selene, because of 9 times out of 10 every game you're going to be making 2 Selene, so you have to play 2 Selene in your deck. Like, trust me, it's very, very important, and even turn 1 I make 2 of this card, so it's just a very, very good card in the deck of 2. Nightmare Unicorn to spin anything. 1 Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This is more of a choice card, you don't have to play it. It could be literally anything else, but I like it just for the fact that we just go ahead and make it, we get to go ahead and banish stuff, we get to go ahead and have a non-targetable monster, and we can make it really, really big at times as well, which is just really nice. 1 Appaloosa, because it says negate and we're playing pendulums. 1 Borosword for potential OTKs. This really should be an access code talker, I'm not going to lie, but I don't own an access code talker right now, so yeah, because like we are playing a lot of different attributes as well in the extra deck, maybe just light and dark, but we are playing like different stuff that we can use with it. But access code talker would be the better choice, and if you do have access to it, play the access code talker. Xyz monsters, we play the 1 Dweller because we can make it, and when we do make it, we're just going to be able to say no to the graveyard, which is really nice. 1 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, because we do not have any other card that we can use to make Vortex in this deck, so we want to be playing the Absolute. Go ahead and overlay it, go into the Cross Sheet, summon the Absolute, Cross Sheet summons 1 back, then we make a second Selene, which is really good. 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict, because this card just says no to hand traps, so if I've opened Instant Fusion, we just go ahead and start with this, and if our opponent tries to hand trap us, we stop them, which is really good. 1 Musician King, this could literally be any normal spellcaster fusion monster, but I just play Musician King because I don't have have the level 4 one. If you have the level 4 one, definitely play the level 4 spellcaster normal monster. But honestly, this is just like, it can be any normal fusion that's a spellcaster in the entire game. So just, you know, rock on with your Musician Kings if you want to play the Musician King, but I just play it because it's the one I have. And then finally, the last card is one, Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon, because it is an Omni Gate that also compulses stuff, and it's just a really, really strong card. But yeah, guys, that is all I have to say in this video now. That is the whole deck profile. Honestly, I really, really do like this deck. I love Endymions, I love Pendulums, I've always loved Pendulums, and I love playing like Vortex and stuff again. Like, it's really, really fun, and I really do enjoy Pendulums. Obviously, the deck does have its downside. If you end up going second and you don't really have a way to break your opponent's board, that can be really, really bad. Or if you get drawn Lockbird, you can't really play the game. But outside of that, the deck is a lot of fun. It is a great deck to play. If you really do enjoy just a deck that makes a ton of monsters, that draws a ton of cards, plays a lot of spell cards, this is really a deck for you. But guys, that is actually all I have to say for this video. Like, honestly, Endymion Pendulums is one of my favorite decks out there. Like, I do prefer obviously the Odd-Eyes variant, or the Odd-Eyes Pendulums, or the Magician's variant, but I really do like the Endymion Pendulum deck. It's a fun deck, it's a great deck, it can make really, really strong boards, and it's really, really consistent when you play it. So guys, that's all I actually have to say for this video. I hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this deck profile in the comment section below. Would you personally play this deck? Would you make some changes to this deck? What would you do to it? And all of that nice stuff. Tell me in the comment sections below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Roll that one, signing out. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, and yeah, later all. I've been rambling on.